right, Crimson Tide fans, we're back in from the break on the #1 show. Talking about your Bama football, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith. Touchdown, Alabama Magazine on a Monday, Iron Bowl week, Thanksgiving week, getting this thing going right here for you. But right now, we go to the In My Own Words hotline, where we pick up a heavy weight, one of the, if not the greatest, ball-hawking, hard-hitting safety to come through the program, the 1992 national champion and the man that's still giving Lamar Thomas nightmares at night. We got George Teague is here. George, what's happening, baby?
Hey, man, what's going on, man? What it do?
We got George Teague in the building, played from 1989 to 92 on that 92 championship team, one of the greatest safeties to come through. The program played under Coach Gene Stallings. And, George, this is a huge week. It's Iron Bowl week. I mean, Alabama, Auburn, state pride, a lot on the line. You throw the records out the window. It's about, if you want it, you better come get it because it's happening right now. But you were one of the greatest safeties to play here, dynamic safety, ball-hawking safety, hard-hitting safety. I mean, you still have Lamar Thomas going wide in the world that I try to outrun George Teague for. But when you look at this Alabama defensive secondary right now, this season, what do you attribute as the biggest problem, the biggest flaw, the biggest troubling area in your mind?
I think it's the route combinations that we're seeing versus the style of defense that we're trying to play. Steve, it's confusing. So I just kind of, matter of fact, I just sent out a tweet a minute ago talking about this, reminding people of, if you're not on the same page back there in the secondary with the type of defense that we're running, it is a pro style type defense. It's easy to give up big plays, and we're not on the same page yet. Yeah, I actually just saw one this Sunday in the Minnesota Vikings game versus Green Bay, running the same defense, and they gave up a long one to Jefferson. It immediately made me think of our secondary because we just don't have it down yet. I'm a little upset because it's taken so long. You know, we're late in the season and we hadn't got it down pat yet. But we might need to simplify things just a little bit, although, when we start making this little run here at the end of the season.
So George, how would Coach Saban go about simplifying that? Because like you mentioned, you're 10 games in and you're still seeing the same problems that you saw from game one, that you saw from game two and early on. So as a coach yourself, how does one go about simplifying it?
I think that the way that the defense is structured, a lot of times the secondary or someone in the secondary can make a call on the fly. So if you notice, we're getting a lot of shifts and motions, right? And so someone has to make a call on what that adjustment's going to be. And I think that Coach Saban or Pete Golding needs to limit the options that they can check. That's what I think. I don't know that for sure, but that's what it seems like to me, that we need to be able to solidify one or two things when those shifts and motions happen, that we say, okay, you're going to do this, and these are your only options. So I'm guessing that we probably got too many options and putting it in the hands of the players on the fly and not limiting what they can do.
If you're just tuning into the show here on a Monday, we got former Alabama defensive back safety George Teague on that 1992 championship team, one of the leaders of that team, joining us here on In My Own Words, talking Crimson Tide football. So, George, looking at Coach Saban here, just in particular Coach Saban, the expectation each year, as sometimes unfair as it sounds, but the expectation each year is, can this team win a national championship? Can this team get to the national championship, win it all, and then do it again year after year? But in looking at all of the inconsistent parts of this team, what does Saban have to do, or what do you hope for Coach Saban to do to try to steer this team to that national championship and trying to win it?
Well, first, you're right. I do think that we as fans are probably putting too much weight on. We raised our standard. We've had a good standard, and that was to be competitive, to win the SEC championship and have an opportunity to win the national championship. Now, I'm not saying or trying to take any light off of that, because what Coach has done over his decade of being there, it's been outstanding. But we can't expect that every single year, because it's tough, because you're getting everybody's best game. They're giving you all the trick plays that they can. They're just drawing up stuff because they don't have anything to lose when they're playing us. So the way his coaches have to prepare and the players have to prepare, it makes it very, very difficult to maintain this week in after week out. So Coach Saban, I think, just has to remind them, hey, man, you guys are good. You guys are fast. You guys are big. You can physical. And let's use our attributes to try to do that within the framework of the defense. Cut it down a little bit. We got 4-star, 5-star guys. We can run with people. We can tackle people. We can do all those things. But if you make guys play thinking too much, I'm hoping he can pull some of that thinking out of the game and let our guys go play.
Simplifying football. We're talking with George Teague, former Alabama safety. If you're just tuning in to the show here, we got Alabama, Auburn this week at Jordan-Hare, and that is always a tough and intense environment, an intense atmosphere to play in and to be in. But just in your opinion, George, what are you looking forward to seeing from these guys and making this a statement game and making this a statement victory? Coach Saban, since 2007, is 3-4 going inside at Jordan-Hare to play this Iron Bowl matchup. So what will your eyes be on in this game?
We got to take what they're giving us, bro. We got to take what they're giving us, because oftentimes we're saying, where's the running game? We're kind of weak up front on the offensive side of the ball. We're not protecting as well as we need to sometimes. We're being able to establish that dominant running game. I saw a little glimpse of that this week. I thought it was a little bit better this past week against Arkansas, but it still ain't where it needs to be. So I'm hoping we can come out and impose our will. When you go in and you try to play at Jordan-Hare, man, it's tough, bro. I mean, the rivalry game, like you said, in-state, they're just going to be up. We're going in a hostile environment. And so we got to be mentally prepared for this type of game, because all they want to do is knock us off at this point and create some havoc. So Saban's going to do what he does, use all the sports science, all the mental aspects of the game, and say, okay, we got to be mentally ready for this atmosphere. And then on offense, take what they're giving us, whatever that means, running the ball, throwing the ball, make sure Bryce is smart, can make the checks that he needs to make. So we need to put ourselves to be able to run the ball or pass the ball when needed, find the matchups, because we can win the matchups on offense. And then on defense, man, we have to eliminate the big play. I'm hoping he's just saying that, man, let's not give up these big plays. Make them work for it all the time. Make them drive the length of the field, and then we make the explosive plays. So I think if we can hit him on those crossing routes and all the things we talked about last week when I spoke to you for briefly, I think we'll be a lot better there on offense. And then, man, we just can't we can't get into another shootout. We can't give up this many points like this. It'll be a long day if we don't eliminate these big plays.